Recently, China has diverged from NASA's stance by releasing an official alert concerning the enigmatic entity known as 38. Their disclosures regarding this puzzling item have entirely dismantled the storyline that NASA has been promoting for several months now. This declaration was far from a mere diplomatic exchange or an academic discussion. Instead, China's space initiative openly proclaimed that Atlas demonstrates abilities which NASA persistently refutes. They made public their monitoring records illustrating maneuvers that defy physical laws. Additionally, they disseminated details about technologies that have no place on a natural body, while urging global readiness for an event NASA claims is impossible. What elevates this situation to a highly volatile level, however, is the rapid endorsements that followed. In a matter of hours, Russia endorsed China's caution, followed swiftly by India and then Japan. Gradually, various space organizations around the world began aligning with China's evaluation, all while NASA upholds absolute quietude on the matter. This leaves us with two possibilities. Either the global space sector is collectively experiencing a widespread hallucination about Atlas's features, or NASA has been deceiving the public. Judging from China's recent revelations, the more plausible explanation is emerging clearly. Before delving into the specifics of China's findings that NASA refuses to recognize, consider subscribing and giving a like, as the insights on Atlas you're about to uncover alter perspectives profoundly. The competition in space among nations has highlighted discrepancies in how superpowers monitor this object. While China opted to inform the world, NASA chose to keep everyone uninformed. Now, let's examine directly what China noted about Atlas. Since their discoveries are astonishing and directly oppose NASA's assertions, utilizing their extensive deep space surveillance system, China recorded Atlas executing actions that no natural celestial body could perform. During a 48-hour monitoring session, Atlas reduced its speed by 5,000 disp, maintained a fixed location in the void for 6 hours, and subsequently regained its initial pace. Reflect on the implications. Comets do not apply brakes. Asteroids do not halt in transit. And typical space entities adhere to foreseeable routes influenced by gravitational pull and inertial forces. Yet Atlas is evidently managing its motion akin to a vessel traversing the solar system. An authority in propulsion, who examined China's information, simplified the matter by stating that the recorded events indicate controlled propulsion without doubt. The patterns of speed up, shifts in speed, and the capacity to sustain positional stability all necessitate propulsion units, sophisticated ones employing methods beyond our current grasp. However, these movement abilities represent only the initial layer. China's arrays of radio telescopes identified an even more remarkable aspect of Atlas. It emits intricate signals bearing evident markers of deliberate creation. These broadcasts are not mere haphazard electrical disturbances, but are arranged, methodical, and employ modulation strategies demanding advanced engineering. Specifically, China observed frequency hopping, where the signals swiftly alternate among various frequencies to evade disruption or spotting, a tactic commonly used in military exchanges. Such behavior does not occur in natural events. Moreover, the signals incorporate apparent error correction mechanisms, which are mathematical frameworks intended to preserve data accuracy amid interference in space. Once more, this points to cutting-edge innovation rather than innate radio outputs. A specialist in radio astronomy who assessed China's signal breakdown called it startling, noting that these broadcasts exhibit principles of engineering. Evidently, an entity or mechanism conceived a communication setup, constructed it, and is presently operating it. Thus, Atlas transcends being a mere wanderer in the cosmos. It functions as a base, sending out data with intentional direction. Furthermore, China's orbital telescopes obtained high-definition visuals of Atlas, unveiling surface traits that NASA's depictions mysteriously failed to clarify. The imagery from China displays geometric configurations on Atlas's exterior, linear edges, perpendicular corners, and balanced layouts that appear distinctly manufactured. In contrast, organic space bodies exhibit disorderly traits, uneven, arbitrary markings shaped by impacts, heat-induced strain, and gravitational influences. Atlas, however, presents orderly formations implying intentional assembly. This is where the narrative becomes particularly captivating and dubious. NASA has monitored Atlas using apparatus equally advanced as China's, raising questions about their vastly differing interpretations. For an extended period, NASA has portrayed Atlas as an atypical, yet fundamentally organic interstellar visitor. They concede it possesses odd attributes but maintain nothing conclusively indicates artificial roots. Just a curious comet with unique characteristics meriting investigation. Conversely, China's evidence highlights propulsion, organized messaging, and shaped surface elements. These are not minor irregularities open to varied explanations, but explicit indicators of technological intervention. The options are that China's instruments are failing in precise manners, or that NASA has been curating data releases to understate Atlas's authentic essence. Several informants indicate that NASA identified identical propulsion indicators as China, but elected to withhold them from the public. Alleged internal dialogues refer to path irregularities needing deeper scrutiny prior to revelation, which translates to official jargon for discovering something disturbing, not yet suitable for sharing. An ex-NASA researcher speaking without attribution outlined the AWISE method, highlighting immense pressure to refrain from bold assertions absent irrefutable proof. Yet such prudence can morph into rejection. Upon detecting propulsion signs, fear of labeling it as potential extraterrestrial tech leads to diminishing clear proof to sidestep disputes. NASA's outward declarations on Atlas have been meticulously phrased to evade outright falsehoods while guiding the public astray regarding actual observations. Phrases like "currently no evidence of artificial propulsion" imply they haven't formally deemed the oddities as such, despite their obvious resemblance. The radio emissions provide another instance. NASA admits to picking up peculiar radio markers from Atlas but labels them as incompletely comprehended natural occurrences. In contrast, China's examination reveals distinct communication rules. NASA isn't refuting China's claims. They are simply not endorsing them openly. An expert in aerospace remarked on the inconsistency, pointing out that both NASA and China observe the identical entity with equivalent tools, witnessing the same information. Yet NASA views it through the utmost cautious perspective due to dread of ramifications. Whereas China prioritizes veracity over preventing alarm, the variance in imagery is especially incriminating. NASA has distributed many photographs of Atlas, yet they consistently feature resolutions or perspectives obscuring surface particulars. China's captures using comparable gear distinctly reveal those geometric designs. This suggests either NASA's imaging group is extraordinarily inept, or they're intentionally disseminating visuals that conceal Atlas's manufactured aspects. Shifting attention to Atlas's actions themselves offers greater insight than any official communique or media bulletin. The propulsion activities documented by China aren't haphazard. Atlas executes methodical path alterations implying purposeful steering toward designated goals. It isn't merely meandering through the solar system, but exploring sites with evident intent. For instance, Atlas conducted thorough examinations of Mars, releasing items onto its terrain, and performing deep probes of particular zones, a pattern indicative of scouting. It systematically charted regions, holding scientific or tactical value, collected information, and proceeded onward. Presently, Atlas is directing toward Earth with an identical methodical strategy. Its path isn't a basic pass-by. It repeatedly modifies direction, seemingly refining its entry to secure ideal alignment with our world. A professional in orbital dynamics clarified the path's indications, stating that Atlas maneuvers like a craft nearing a target, executing adjustments typical for arriving at exact positions at precise moments. This transcends unguided motion. It's directed piloting. Additionally, the electromagnetic broadcasts have progressed during Atlas's passage through our solar system. Initial signals were basic, resembling system checks to confirm operational status. As Atlas neared inner solar system bodies, the signals grew more elaborate and focused. Near Mars, broadcast strength surged markedly and seemed aimed at the Martian ground, potentially linking with the released items there. As Atlas nears Earth, signals are amplifying once more and appear oriented toward our planet. An expert in communications who studied the signal trends termed them advancing with early ones akin to trials. Testing. Is this functional? While present ones are formatted, deliberate, and seemingly crafted to transmit particular details. Clearly, whatever Atlas represents, it's endeavoring to connect and refining its methods. Moreover, Atlas has shown adaptability to surroundings. Upon traversing an area with elevated micrometeorite concentration, it reoriented to reduce collision hazards on vital areas. an active defense mechanism, not inert floating.